Maybe it is the TISM, or maybe I just like tower defense games. Or maybe it's both. It could very well be both. This is Legion Tower Defense. My name is Wolf. Welcome to the Wolf's Garage channel. This is one of the tower defense games I enjoy playing these days. Off stream, during my off times. And I've had this new strat, which is probably an old strat for most folk. But I'm having a lot of fun with it, so I kind of just want to show it off, I suppose. For better or for worse. So we'll see how it ends up going. I'm actually going to sell this and buy... Is this wise? Should I do this? Well, it's done. So I guess we are going to do that. And then I probably want to build one of you guys over here. Dark Mage there. Okay. Yes. But yeah, like the tower defense game genre has always got its claws in me. Since back in the olden days where we still had the fake LAN connections over the internet to play games together. So we can do the custom battles in Command and Conquer, and was it even in Warcraft? No, Warcraft has always had a multiplayer, hasn't it? Maybe. I don't really recall. It's been too long, for better or for worse. But yes. And as such, I've had a deep fascination and love with tower defense games and games like it. Also like tug-of-war games, very big fan of that. If anybody remembers Desert Strike or Castle Fight or anything like that. But the most might be more popular in the StarCraft 2 arcade and perhaps even the Dota arcade. But that's neither here nor there. We're playing tower defense. Do I want to? Yeah, I need to build a Grarl. We'll see how that turns out. But yeah, this is not quite a traditional tower defense game. But it is a tower defense game. There's even a tower defense mode for this game, but you have to vote that in. Which actually brings me to the point that I actually wanted to talk about. Tower defense games get boring for a lot of people because they get optimized very quickly, right? And if everything is static, you always know exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And that's boring. For some people, finding it out is like really, really fun. But for other people, that is kind of boring. And I can't fault them for it. But this particular game solves that in a couple of different ways. By having different builders you can make. Not just the static builders, but the mastermind builders with different variations. Ooh, I'm leaking. That's not good. That is not good at all. I thought that was going to be better. My bad. We had different variations of builders. But also different game modes. In this case, we're playing Super Fiesta, I believe. Which means if we leak, we gain money. So we leaked. But we might have actually gotten a little bit of money for our team. Which is nice. Although I don't like leaking. So we have to address that. So let's. Another tank. And there's also like wonderful actual fundamental different play styles. Where, for example, you have the tower defense that I mentioned earlier. Where all your units become static. But they get plus 500 range. So it actually is a more traditional tower defense game. Which is one of my favorite modes. But it's also one of the rarest, sadly. I wish it wasn't. But here we are. But as such, every game is a little different. And I do like building my own kind of build with the random roller or other different masterminders. And in this case, I like this idea that I've had for a while where I put all my money onto one unit. All my eggs in one singular, delightful basket. So we're going to try and do that with this particular run and see how well it goes. Now, it's not the optimal way to play. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Ah, they're doing a double lane. Because ultimately, we're not trying to be optimal. That's not how I look at these type of games anymore. Words are apparently quite hard for me right now. Let's see. Let me see if I can find what I am looking for. Don't think we're going to be as fortunate. I'm looking for a specific unit. That could work. That could work. Let me actually buy some damage here. Alright. Yeah, that could work. Well, maybe not. It's not going to skill very well. Or is it? No, it's not. We'll see how it goes out. I'm actually thinking about maybe rolling again, but I am not sure if that's going to work out for me very well. I doubt it. I sincerely doubt it. I am a little bit behind on workers. I've already leaked once, although Super Fiesta makes it fine. As I was saying, though, before I got confused about my plan here, is that the way I look at these games is not being the best anymore. I am a perfectionist, which I've been trying to get rid of, or at least trying to soften, which has been had some varying degrees of success. But I've tried to force my brain from going to be the best and try to teach it not to be the worst, which is like a philosophy that can be surmised by, to outrun an alligator, you only have to like run faster than the slowest person. And that's kind of what I do with these games. You don't, as long as I'm not the worst player on the team, it's fine. So if I'm in a team with like a lot of good players, I have better step up my game, right? But as long as I'm not the worst, it's fine. Now that doesn't mean you can't do better, can't be more optimized, can't, play better. Even if you do a bit of a meme build, there's always room for improvement, and you should be open to that. But being able to give yourself a thing to avoid more so than a thing to achieve gives you like this wiggle room for fun builds, right? Because it's a lot easier to not be the worst than it is to have to be the best. You know what I mean? There's a lot less wiggle room in trying to be number one. It's kind of like a game philosophy that a lot of people have been adopting since the incredible popularity of like TFT, right? Teamfight Tactics. Because you don't have to be number one to be able to climb. If you're in the top 4, you're climbing, baby. And that's all you have to do to get better, right? Like if you want to get higher rank, as long as you are climbing, be it 1 step or 10 steps, you are going forward. And as long as you always go forward, it's a different, you'll reach your destination, right? And that's important. Let's see. Okay, we got some units on the board. We got some units on the board. Very good. So as long as you can achieve that, because it's a lot easier to aim for top 4 than it is to have to specifically be number 1, right? So you have a lot more wiggle room for error, a lot more wiggle room for creativity, a lot more wiggle room for fun. Because if you always play the same way and always optimize in the exact same way in a tower defense game, especially the static ones, it kind of gets stale very quickly for a lot of people. For me, it ultimately does. So being able to have that wiggle room to kind of try out fun builds or mechanics or archetypes or ideas is just so much more an enjoyable experience, which really allows you to just enjoy the game for what it's worth, more so than having to be this super sweaty individual. Are we going to hold this? Because they do come in with a debuff, but I think we're going to be fine. Yeah. As you can see, these are my units, so we didn't leak on the king because we had excessive power, and that's okay with me. I'm going to build this unit now, because that's the one we're going to try to build around. As you can see right here, Unchained Rage. Incredible damage reduction and fast attack speed once we hit 35%. So if we can make it have more health, which we can, that might be a good idea. And if we can get more damage reduction, that'd be great too. But there's 2 units that can facilitate that, and I'm looking to find out if we can find them. But we'll find out if that's going to be the case. I am going to first... How much is this upgraded again? I think it was 100, right? Okay, and how much is this upgraded? 250. It's a little sketchy. That is a little bit more sketchy. That's okay. I am a little bit behind on workers, but then again, I also prevent leaks. So, tomato, tomato, potato, potato. I am a credit to team. Alright. And I am trying to not look like a fool, because normally you can push much more workers. You would be closer to a certain 12 or 13. I am trying personally to always hit 15 workers at wave 10. That's my personal kind of goal. If I do that, that's fine. And at wave 15, I try to hit around 50-ish. As long as I do that, I'm typically okay. I'm actually going to get this unit going. The Ocean Templar giving me missing health. So now we have lifesteal on the Oathbreaker, and they're going to attack faster, which is good. And the less health they have, they're going to regen more. So if we're going to give them more health, not only will they get more value out of Unchained Rage, but they will also heal more. And I think that's the idea that I had with this character. But we need 2 more units. There's only 1 more buff unit we have to build, and then it's ultimately only the same unit over and over again. So we'll see how that turns out. Let's see. Will it survive this wave? It's healing more and more, as you can see. The damage reduction is doing work, but I don't think it's going to make it just yet. Ooh, close. Close. It did a job, though. Let's build a worker just to get to 10 workers. I like that. I like that a lot. Because we're going to build a worker. Let's actually just build a bunch of workers, because we're not going to upgrade the other person anyway. We also had our yellow player here leak a little bit. Not too much. Most of their units are lower health. So he probably just got a bunch of AoE damage. And it just didn't work out for him. That happens. Oh, I would have loved having the scaling flower. I still want to do something with the scaling flower. I think it's like Sakura or something. Kind of want to try something with those still too. I'm going to see if I can do a quick and dirty reroll just while we still have the means to do so. Did not hit what we want, so we're just going to hit the workers. Because once again, I'm trying to hit 15 workers at 10, right? Like that's my personal goal. And we're already behind. So I'm already not living up to potential of being the not the worst player on the team. Although I did catch leaks. I am holding the line, so maybe that's just my job, making sure our king doesn't get destroyed by making sure we can facilitate some stuff. Maybe we should just overbuild and deal with that. Who knows? Okay, I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do here. We do have a little bit of coin. Am I going to be mean? Can I be mean? I don't think I can be mean. I do have 15 workers. But it is what it is. Yeah, we have 21 workers on green, which is insane. He's really going for it. Oh, yeah, I see what he's doing. Yeah, that makes sense. Very lovely. Alright, I could upgrade this. I am going to upgrade that. I'm going to see if I can get a couple of workers. No, I don't need another Oathbreaker. It's already fully upgraded. I'm looking for a specific unit right now. There it is. Alright, that's the unit we want to build and then upgrade. That's going to give us additional damage reduction and give us another secondary tank. And after that, there's only 1 unit we have to build in bulk. Over and over and over again, which is going to make our toy very large, very big, and very happy to see you. Look at that. We have the chef also doing some tanking, some healing. Very good. So I ended up with 16 workers before the boss, which is fine. Because I was aiming for 15, ended up with 16. We killed the boss. We didn't leak, unlike some people. So am I the worst player on my team? I'm not the best, because I clearly could push more workers and not leak either. But I'm one of 2 people who did not leak. So that's okay. I think that's fine. Look at that. A little bit of extra cash. 20 workers at the end of wave 10. It's not the best, but certainly not the worst. Every time you leak, you gain 60 Mythium, which is insane. Especially with Super Fiesta, you can really eco that hard. Oh, wow. I'm going to go with counterattack. I think it's the best option here. Which actually makes me want to kind of push more workers. Because we have Super Fiesta. I'm not sure how Super Fiesta works, if we actually have to click Super Fiesta anywhere. Because I'm not entirely sure. Because there's also a Super Fiesta mode you can click as you go into your Mastermind. I'm not sure how that actually works. If the game mode is the same as the Mastermind one, or if the Mastermind becomes available because of the game mode. Because I don't like the concept of leaking, so I typically try to overbuild, but that's not the most efficient way of doing it, right? But again, we're not trying to be the most efficient, we're trying to have fun. And to have fun, we must first obtain the unit we want. Hopefully it won't take us much more rolls, because the rolls will become more expensive, and we have wasted a lot of money already. I'm looking for the shaman unit, and it's looking like it's not going to be very kind to us. Oh my goodness. There it is. There it is. The Desert Pilgrim. That's the one. It starts off with a heal, but the second upgrade is the more important one. There you go. It becomes the Chieftain, which will have Gaia Shield. Increase the max health of a forward most positive fighter by 1500. 1500 health, most forward fighter. Oh, look at that. It's the Oathbreaker. So we're going to give us 1500 more health per Desert Pilgrim. The Desert Pilgrim is going to get some buffs as well if it's standing next to ores, but more importantly, the Oathbreaker is going to become bigger and stronger and sturdier. So it's going to tank more. And then once we have our White Mane, it's going to another 10% damage reduction as well. The Lifesteal is going to help carry based on damage, but more importantly, the Ocean Templar with the percentage life regen is going to scale out of control as well, which is really, really good. Look at that. It does tank a lot, but at the same time, it doesn't have a lot of its juice yet, which is why we have to build a lot of Desert Pilgrims. Now, I don't really mind leaking, because once again, we have taken counterattack, and so did most of my teams. So every single time they leak, we're going to get, they're going to get a lot of Mythium. So they're not really losing value by failing. Ah, look at that. Mimic action. Yeah, maybe I should do mass mimic. I wonder if that would work very well. Let's try it. Let's try some mass mimic strats. I like the idea of mimics, but I've never really had a lot of success with them. But yeah, here you go. There's the White Mane giving bonus damage reduction. So we have 30% lifesteal on ability and attacks. We have percentage lifesteal. And then we also have additional damage reduction. So 3 auras. We unfortunately did not get any special super auras. Because sometimes you can get those as well from events or from game modes or the power at 10. No luck there, but we do have the Last Chieftain giving it Gaia Shield as well. So let's see. He's already getting a little bigger. 4.1 with 1 stack. Not bad. Damage reduction kicks in. He does hold the line quite a bit, but not quite well enough. But that's why we have the other units as pseudo-tanks while we start building up those stacks, because it does scale exponentially, but we do have to get there. So there you go. Let's keep building workers. We're currently at 36.6, 37.9. All right, we're about the same on our team. We're not even the same. We're actually ahead of some people on our team. So we're not officially the worst player on our team, which is our personal goal. All right, let's build one of those and build 3 more workers. I don't mind. Normally, I would build more units to have overvalue. But at the same time, we do have counterattack. And I haven't really got any value out of that. Maybe I should have gone with... No. I still think it would have been the best, because ultimately you will always lose a wave. And getting some Mythium out of that is always going to be nice. I think that's always fine. 60 Mythium is what? About 15 income. That's skills. So, it's not too shabby. Let's see. Okay. It's, yeah, you can see the heal growing. Not quite enough, though. Not quite enough. As long as we kill what we want to do. Like, normally I have 50 workers around wave 15, right? Like, that's the goal, that's the purpose, that's the lynch, not the linchpin, the threshold. The guideline. So, we're at 49.2. But we have leaks, so we're going to be on the money. Yeah, we're over 50 before wave 15. So my goal has been achieved. So anything additional to this is more than delightful. I'm going to take a crazy step here. I'm way on... Well, am I? No, I see. The crazy thing to do here would be to just buy all the workers. And I really want to. But I don't want to be the worst player on my team. Actually, I should not build it over here. I should build it next to one of the auras. And I could build another one. But I'm just going to take these 3 workers for now. We're probably going to leak quite a bit here. But again, counterattack, so it's fine. There's just going to be more money later. Let's see, we have 3 stacks on the Gaia right now. Ooh, yeah, he's dying very quickly on the boss damage. At the end there, he became a lot more tanky, but the thing is, our damage is also the Lost Chieftains with their damage DR. Now, the Chieftains themselves also are quite tanky because of all the auras that they get. So we are going to actually be monstrously fine and not leak at all. So I could have probably pushed and be fine. Because that tiny heal from the little chieftain did not do a whole lot. So we're at 63. We're actually second highest on workers right now on our team. Very good. Ooh, that's a mean little combo. 4 eyes with a shaman. That's a mean combo. All right, look at that. Beautiful. Let's get another worker here. All right, so let's build 4 workers. That should bring us close to 70. 68.5. 70.2. That's close to 70. Slightly over, in fact. We do love it. All right, so I am the number 1 on workers right now. But I'm also the lowest on power. But then again, I wasn't leaking before. So the power value is always a little off when you start doing crazy things like this. But it's okay. It's okay. We're going to be fine. I do need to build more of these shamans because they are both the tank enhancer and our damage, right? So we'll see how that turns. So let's see. There's the heal. Look at the heals. Look at the big heals. They become bigger and bigger the lower his health becomes. Oh, is he going to hold this time? Oh, it's going to be close. Ah, we couldn't quite get to that threshold. We needed a few more kills. But that's okay though. We still have our backup white main here, who's going to buy us a lot of time. And then we have the actual units themselves, which are enhanced by auras. So a lot of tankiness there, a lot of versatility. And then we have just the threshold. So even though I'm being quite aggressive, I can actually be more aggressive. The counterattack was the wrong play, I think, because in my subconscious need not to be the worst, in my defensive nature of never wanting to fail or leak a wave, I failed getting value. And in fact, the enemy is failing. But maybe they might have been pushing for Super Fiesta, so this might be not entirely a fair assessment. We'll see, though. Let's build one here. Let's build one here. And then we're going to push more workers. Let's be more aggressive. This is something I typically don't do. I don't like seeing the number being that far below neutral. So we're pushing. Now, normally around wave 20, I want to have about 100 workers. I'm already at 94. So I'm pushing a lot harder than I typically do. I typically like 100 workers around wave... Well, around wave 18 is like ideal, but I typically end up at wave 20. Although 18 is when you start saving traditionally. Give or take. So let's see. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's holding. I think it might hold this time. Look at that. It's... Oh. The more we kill, the less damage it takes, the more it can benefit from its massive scalable healing. It actually is going to live. Look at that. Incredible. Alright. And we're over 100 workers. Incredible. Yep, so we're way ahead of schedule. So we fell a little bit behind, and now we're ahead of schedule for what I normally try to do during these casual games, which is like 100 workers. We're at 108 at wave 17. Maybe I should be a little less generous when it comes down to the high-end stuff. I'm going to build one worker. I'm going to turn off auto, because it is wave 18, so we want to start saving. And I am just going to build these units now. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm just going to build these units. Nothing else. That's all we're going to do. Push maximum amount of Desert Pilgrims. We still have a Dark Mage here. That's simply because of the increased attack speed. We needed a little bit of damage at the beginning of the game, right? Normally, I like a Sakura, because a Sakura, when survives, becomes faster on their attack speed and tanky as well, which is very, very nice. Alright. So ultimately, I didn't spam Mimics. Kind of fell to the wayside. Oop, okay, there's the massive damage reduction. The heals are getting quite intense as well. It might not be enough this time. Ooh, it's gotta be close. The heals are there. It actually is enough. Incredible. Look at that. We held with a singular tank. That's what I like to see. I do love a quality over quantity kind of play. So I'm a big fan of that. Looks like our teammates might stick to auto. Not sure why they're doing that. Okay, looks like they're actually not saving. So the final wave might be a bit of a problem. But that's okay. We'll adapt. We won't have a choice. Alright, more workers. Let's add like a little bit of 2 healers there, you know, because that's really going to make a difference. It won't, but if we pretend it does, it might. All right, so we definitely need more of these shamans. How many do we have right now? Quite a bit. It's easier to just wait for the final, or for the Oathbreaker final form to actually pop off so we can see the stacks. All right. 13. 22.1k health. Incredible. Look at those heals. Look at that. Going into the 600 almost. We're not quite breaking 600. But then again, they're also not breaking him. Look at that. He's actually staying quite healthy this time. Beautiful. All right. Is he going to make it? It looks a little sketch. No, he's going to be fine. I do like these guys as well, the Lemurian, because they stack and then get more max health and then more damage reduction. I can never make them work as a singular unit. Or a bunch of units. Never been able to do that. I'm sure there is a path, though, because it definitely feels like there should be one. Alright. I'm just going to sell that so I can upgrade this one. Perfect. Alright, so we have another Desert Pilgrim over here. Yeah, we have a lot of damage coming out from these. A lot of damage, a lot of damage. We have a little bit of whirly bird action. Again, I prefer the Sakuras here, or maybe even the gold throwers. What are they called? The bankers, just for more eco, so you can build more units. Yeah, I love scaling stuff, right? Like Sakuras are conceptually really good. The Hydras are very fun. Look how big he is. Nice. Look at that. 17 shields already. I'm going to turn on auto. I am going to build some of these auras right here. And then we're just going to hold on. He doesn't even die. Look at that. Even against the giant toad, he did not die. Even against the giant toad, he did not perish. Incredible. Incredible. We take on auto because then we get a bunch of extra money for free. We already have done all the auras that we want. I mean, I could take a honey bear. I could do that. There you go. Now they're going to fill that up with lots of units. We're getting a bunch of extra gold from that. Level 21. All right. Let's make all the pilgrims. Just like our forefathers intended. There you go. Unbreakable achievement as well. Can I? No, we won't have enough for that. I'm just going to build another healer then. And there it is. That's our entire army. Hopefully it will be enough. Let's see, what do we have on the left here? Lots of Void Mantas with Leviathan. Very good strat. I do like that a lot. Speaking of Hydras, love those too. If they survive, very good. Alright, how big is he? Look at that size on him. Holy. 37.150. That's a hefty health pool. Alright, there goes his damage reduction. His heals are a lot, but it might not be enough for this final wave right here. Oh, it's going so slow. It's going down. We actually made wave 21. I beat wave 21 with a meme. Yes. That's what we like to see. Look at that. Look at him heal. He is gonna make it. Is he gonna make it? What do you guys reckon? Is he gonna make it? I like to think he is. Here's my big boy holding the final line. This is why we don't want to be the worst ones. Now we are buying time, which means the enemy is already killing the enemy king. My units still live. I'm still holding the line. As their king dies. Yes. Look at that. That's an incredible run. That is an incredible match. I do love Legion Tower Defense. It's so good. And I got the MVP. Most pressure, most leagues covered, fewest leagues, fewest shutdowns given up. I like to think I was not the worst player in the game. And that's what we're aiming for. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to hit the like button if you enjoy videos like this. I just wanted to share something I do offline occasionally. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Take care of yourselves. And I will see you on the other side. I'm out.